Jeremy TV.
Welcome back to the channel. Jeremy here with you on a kind of a windy, hot day here in southern Oklahoma. It's the 14th of July 2020. It's pretty close to 100 degrees outside right now, but it's not as bad as it could be because the wind is making it a little bit more comfortable. As you can see, we're looking at my little storage building here that keeps my lawnmowers out of the rain and sun. And I've mentioned before, this building was bought used. We didn't pay a lot for it. It's kind of a cheap building to start with. They don't tend to be very robust anyway because they're made of plastic. And I bought it used. It's been moved 3 or 4 times, and I think every time you move them, it probably doesn't do them any good. But if you'll remember, we moved this right back at the very start of the barn project to get it out of where I thought was going to be the first spot, or the spot we were going to have the barn. And this thing has taken wind damage 3 different times now since we've moved it over here, whereas it didn't take any wind damage in the spot before. So I don't know if it was just the spot that we moved it to. I don't know, but what happens is the wind gets in there and it starts blowing the doors a little bit, and once those doors start moving, kind of destabilizes the whole building, and then it doesn't take long and a wall comes off and then it's just gone. It's really not damaged. It just needs to be put back together, but the problem is it's coming apart so easily now that I'm going to have to rig it up by, I think I'm going to use some unistrut on each wall. I'm going to use a piece on the inside and a piece on the outside on each of the north and south sides, and I'm going to basically bolt those together to kind of keep some rigidity in those walls, and then also fasten the roof down to that piece of unistrut. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do the roof. Maybe I can get it close enough and just bolt it down to that same piece, or if I'll have to put a piece of strapping to get it down. But at any rate, it needs to be stabilized better, reinforced better, and I don't want to have to keep coming out here and snapping this thing back together every time the wind gets over 40, which the last storm that came through, the max wind gust was only like 45, so it wasn't like we were getting 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was literally like a really windy day. It was, even though it was a storm that blew up, I mean, it's not unusual for us to get 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts with really strong systems. So anyway, I'm going to run to Lowe's, get some parts, and then I'm going to come back and get this project started. So this is exactly like the building was when I came out and found it. As you can see, it's just it's torquing on the walls a little bit on that back side. Doesn't really seem to be hurting that roof truss. I think if I get the unistrut high enough, I can probably bolt the roof truss directly to it, or I can get a little piece of angle or something, or a small piece of unistrut and connect that roof truss to the unistrut. Maybe if I put it right here, I could put something there to connect it to, and it'd keep that roof down from getting loose. Because now these screws have been put back in that plastic enough times that it's just kind of boogered the holes out, and it's not holding very well. So this is exactly like it was when I found it. I hadn't touched it. It was a couple of days ago. So anyway, we'll get it snapped back together and hopefully get it reinforced, and it'll be better next time. Okay. Oh, Lordy. So this is the last chance for this janky ass outfit. I'm gonna give it one more try, put it together, brace it up a little bit. If the damn thing gets blown apart again, it's gonna go to the junkyard, and I'm gonna park my mowers in my shiny new barn. So I went to Lowe's, found the stuff, sort of found the stuff I was looking for. Not exactly. I was actually looking for some unistrut, but I found this stuff instead. This strapping, this metal strapping. I think it'll work. It's not quite as rigid, but I think it'll still tie everything together, which is really what it needs to have done. So we're gonna give it a whirl and see. Go ahead and okay. Now push. Yeah. Oh, get it back up.
That works.
Slide it back around. Now it'll have to sit back up in this track. You see that?
Here's some grass in.
Yeah, I think it's alright. Push over here, back on my right. Yeah. Push.
Push it towards you.
Yeah, push that wall toward me. There it goes. And even at the bottom, let's see.
The screws you bending.
Yeah, I don't care. Got a little water in there. A little water there.
A little bit.
A little full. A lot of sand. Uh-oh. I didn't know it was going that way.
You probably didn't either.
No.
Do you want me to lift up and you do?
No, I'm trying to. I think I'm just no. Yeah. All right. What I do over there?
Looks like it could be pushed. You want me to kick it?
Gotta go in, doesn't it? Ow. Oh, Jeremy. Got jacked it up down there. What'd I do?
Looks like you got it. Yeah, you got it.
Boy, it's still awful janky.
Looks better though.
So my thinking is that I want to screw this top deal in this little strap. Here, come hold it for me. Put that right there. And then I'm gonna, no, to the right.
Like that?
Yep.
Air.
So that main job, that strap's gonna, I'm gonna put the other strap probably behind this one, and I'm gonna screw that into that. So basically I'm trying to anchor everything together. If I can keep it tied together in kind of one piece, I think we can keep it from falling apart. And if not, I was out like 30 bucks in hardware. And yeah, let's do this. Yes. All right, so we'll do that right there. About right there.
Get a little bit.
Yeah, probably a little bit more. There. To the left just a smidge. Alright. Alright, so now my plan is to put this in here under these straps.
Can we hold it?
Yeah, and then
It's on that one.
yeah, here, let's pull that up. Go ahead and slide up a little bit. It's probably greasy. It's probably a little greasy to keep them sticking together. Alright, so let's go. There, that'll work. Let's call that good. Alright.
Try and hold it as much as I can.
Yeah, what I could do. Oh, you're gonna bear down. Alright, so now I'll drill through there and bolt the other one to it. tight together. So let's get the drill bit.
Dang.
It didn't take much. Okay.
I guess we were used to seeing Gramps drill through that.
Yeah. There we are. Hey, we pushed that bolt. And I got it.
Like the neighbors know.
Go on the back side and hold those bolt heads. The good thing is this one doesn't have to.
Like my shoes untied.
Huh?
My shoes untied.
Okay, so which hole goes in? I can't keep a hold of the wrench.
Sound like it. Oh, that's how you do it.
Yes, let me.
That other one's bigger because we could all fit on it.
Give me some light down at the bottom. If you go. Yeah, right. There you go. Alright. So that's that.
Hey.
So you probably can't see it, but I'll come out when it's light and give you a good rundown of this. Alright guys, so I'm out here the next day and I wanted to show you how this project ended up. I was pretty happy with it. Didn't exactly get the materials that I wanted. I kind of wanted the Unistrut stuff that was a little bit more rigid, but I think this will work fine. It's some kind of metal banding or strapping or something. I don't even know what it's used for. I found it in the sheetrock section, but I'm not sure if that's what it's used for, if it was just a display for something else. But I put the strap basically to pull together each of those two wall sections to hold them in place, because I think that's where my problem was. The wind would get in there and start shaking things a little bit and pulling it apart, and then once it kind of started, it just like a domino effect. So I matched these up with straps on the inside as well. See, you can see just today this little bit of wind has blown these doors open. It wasn't even that windy today, but it blew the damn doors open, and that's what gets it started. So on the inside I've got matching bands here. And then up top, I've got these bands that tie to the roof truss, and then it attaches to the bands. So basically it's going to hopefully keep the roof held down, the walls held together, and everything from falling apart. That's the idea anyway. I think it was about $40 worth of materials, $30, somewhere in there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I scrap the building, park this crap in the big barn, and call it good. But hopefully it'll work, because I really don't want to add my mowing equipment to my barn. I want to keep that for the bigger stuff. But it really wasn't much of a wind that blew those doors like that, and then they come out of the hinges, and then everything starts falling apart. And like I said, it was a 45-mile-an-hour wind gust that knocked it down the other day, so it doesn't take much. When you get thunderstorms blowing through here with 60 and 70-mile-an-hour winds, at least yearly, you know, stuff doesn't tend to stay together. So anyway, that project's done. I'm so far happy with the way it turned out. It kind of came together like I planned. Now let's just wait and see if it works. You know, sometimes a project in your head doesn't come out as good in reality. So, you know, moving on to the next project. So, appreciate you guys being here. Hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to seeing you again soon.